There comes a moment when you feel a pull stronger than any longing you have ever known, a pull that whispers, to move forward, you must release what lies behind. Have you ever carried a burden so heavy that each step felt like an eternity? Imagine walking through life with a backpack full of stones. Each stone is a memory of regret, each pebble a fragment of shame. How far could you run if you began dropping one stone at a time? To start a new life, you must burn the bridges of your past, but hold fast to the lessons they taught you. Each regret was designed not to keep you chained, but to refine you, to teach you, to point you toward the purpose that awaits. Let your heart tremble at the thought of release. Then allow your spirit to say, I will not live enslaved by who I once was. Every experience, every heartbreak, every failure carries within it a seed of wisdom. God does not waste pain. When a door closed on you, it was not a trap, but an invitation to look elsewhere. When a friendship dissolved, perhaps it was preparation for the relationships that would stir your soul. Yet it is easy to replay those moments on a loop, as though God himself forgot to bring closure. When you cling to the past, you tighten the noose around your own potential. The man who keeps replaying his worst moment in the boardroom cannot walk boldly into the next meeting. The woman who still tightens with fear at the thought of love cannot open her heart to something new. Release is not denial. It is an act of faith. It says, I believe there is a purpose for every trial. I believe my future is brighter than my history. Imagine a farmer preparing a field for planting. He sets fire to the tangled overgrowth, and though the flames consume what's familiar, the ashes become rich soil. What once choked life away becomes the very foundation for a harvest. Similarly, when you allow the fire of truth to burn away regret and resentment, what remains is fertile ground. You learn that the heartache you endured has made you more compassionate. You discover that the mistakes you made have sharpened your discernment. You come to know that the nights you thought were endless were actually forging your resilience. Do not allow the fire to scare you, but trust that on the other side of the blaze lies renewed life. Hold tight to the lessons, even as you let go of the pain. Scrapbooks of memories are worthless if the pages are stained with bitterness. Instead, gather each memory, press it to your chest, whisper, thank you for teaching me this, and then lay it down. Maybe you learned that trusting the wrong person can become the catalyst for trusting God more deeply. Maybe you discovered you are stronger than you ever imagined when you survived your darkest night. Those lessons are not burdens, they are most precious treasures. Pack them gently in your soul. Pray over them, and then release the weight that stole your peace. Ask yourself, what wisdom did I earn from that experience? How can I use it to serve others? When you burn a bridge behind you, you do so not from vengeance, but from conviction. You are declaring, that chapter is closed. You are saying, I refuse to be defined by what once was. I embrace what will be. There may be voices that try to pull you back across the flames. The voice of fear reminding you of your failure. The voice of regret insisting you are not allowed to move on. But those voices lie. Your scars are not symbols of weakness, but badges of honor. They testify that you fought hard, that you endured, that you grew. No one can take away the legacy of your endurance. Embrace it, learn from it, and step forward with arms open for destiny. Practically, begin each morning with a simple ritual. Take a piece of paper, write down one memory that haunts you, then release it to the air. Tear the paper, set it aflame, or crumple it up and throw it away. Speak the words, I release this to you, Lord. I am not bound by it anymore. Then replace that space with gratitude for the lesson. Thank you for teaching me perseverance. As you do this day after day, you will feel the weight lift. It won't happen in one moment, but in hundreds of small declarations of freedom. You'll find that old wounds lose their power when you refuse to rewind them in your mind. You learn to live in grace, not guilt. You begin to walk in freedom, not fear. So now, as you stand on the threshold of a new life, breathe deeply and ask, what have I learned? What will I carry forward? Burn the bridge behind you, but gather the embers of wisdom to ignite your future. Your past is not a prison, it is a classroom. You will leave with a diploma if you allow your experiences to teach you. When the flames of the past have served their purpose, there is nothing left to do but step over them and declare, "My future is not constrained by my history. I walk forward with purpose, with faith, and with lessons that will light the way." As you cross that threshold into your new identity, you might wonder, what does it mean to see yourself differently? What changes in the heart of someone who has truly let go? Consider that a caterpillar does not mourn its cocoon. It embraces the transformation. And when the butterfly emerges, it does not look back at its former self. Likewise, when you redefine yourself through divine alignment, when you see what God sees in you, you unlock potential you never knew existed. This is not about crafting a persona. It is about stepping into the essence God breathed into you before the world told you otherwise. You were created in purpose, for purpose. If you have burned the bridges that tethered you to yesterday, you are ready to walk into the nature you were designed to reflect. Who were you created to be? This question can sound daunting, but listen closely. When God formed you, He fashioned you with intention. You are not a broken puzzle missing pieces. You are a masterpiece awaiting discovery. Look for the sparks that ignite your soul, moments when you feel alive, when you feel in alignment with something greater. Those sparks are clues to your identity. Perhaps you feel a surge of peace when you speak words of hope to someone hurting. Perhaps your spirit thrills at the thought of creating art or solving a problem that benefits others. Whatever awakens you is not random. It is the fingerprint of your Creator. Do not ask, "Am I qualified?" Ask instead, "Will I trust that the one who called me will equip me?" When you answer that with a resounding yes, you step into your true identity. When you ask, "Who am I meant to be?" you stop seeking validation from outside sources. The world may try to label you. You are a failure. You are not enough. You do not belong. But God's voice calls louder. You are chosen. You are equipped. You are destined to shine. Your identity is not fashioned by your mistakes or by others' opinions. It is formed by the divine blueprint woven into your soul. The moment you embrace that identity, your decisions shift. You no longer settle for less than what heaven ordained. You begin to speak over yourself the words God spoke when He formed you. You are loved. You are capable. You are sent. And those words are more powerful than any lie the enemy whispers. Speak those truths aloud each morning. Look in the mirror and declare, "I am not who I was. I am who I am becoming." When you do, you release dormant power. Words carry creative force. When God spoke, galaxies appeared. When you decree your destiny, spiritual forces align to make a way. Speak breakthrough when doubt creeps in. Speak faith when fear tries to pin you down. If you want a new life, do not wait for circumstances to validate your words. Speak your words first, and circumstances will eventually bow to your declarations. It may feel uncomfortable at first, but this is the language of the Spirit. You might stumble, you might sound foolish to your own ears, but keep speaking. After all, the farmer does not complain that the seeds are not sprouting. He continues to water and tend. Your words are the water that nurtures the seeds of your future. You cannot craft a new life in an environment that does not support your becoming. Consider a seedling planted in rocky soil. It struggles to find nourishment. Its roots are stunted, and it withers beneath the harsh sun. But the same seedling, placed in rich earth and given space to grow, flourishes. Likewise, the people and places around you will either nourish your spirit or choke it. Evaluate your close circle. Do they see the future version of you, or do they clench you in the confines of who you were? If they keep reminding you of your past, you will remain tethered to it. However, if you surround yourself with those who believe in your potential, who speak hope into you, and who challenge you to grow, you will ascend. God designed community to reflect His love and to propel you forward.
Start by carving out sacred spaces for your soul. Dedicate a corner of your home to reflection, a simple chair, a journal, a candle. Each morning, retreat there to connect with your Maker. Read words that stir your spirit, not just entertain your mind. Let your playlist be filled with songs that declare victory, not just catchy hooks. As you curate your environment, you shape your mindset. it becomes easier to walk with courage when your surroundings uplift rather than undermine. Choose a daily routine that speaks volumes: a short walk in the early dawn, a moment of gratitude before meals, a nightly ritual of praise. Each discipline you adopt creates a container for your new life, one that protects your vision and fuels your momentum. And yet, acting on your new vision requires courage, not perfection. If you wait until you feel fully prepared, you will never move. Think of a potter with clay on his wheel. The moment he fears the clay is too wet or too dry, he stops shaping. But the clay finds form only when the potter applies his hands, molds it, and reshapes as needed. In the same way, you must act, imperfectly, but unapologetically. Take that first step, however small. Perhaps it is reaching out to a mentor you admire. Maybe it is drafting the outline of a plan you have been dreaming about. It could be as simple as sharing your vision with one trusted friend. Whatever it is, act. When you do, you summon momentum. Resistance will arise, doubts, delays, discouragement. But do not let those giants intimidate you. You are more powerful when you move in faith than when you stand in fear. A new life is never sustained by action alone. It is sustained by inner work, the daily commitment to align your heart with God's heart. Your outer world will mirror the condition of your inner world. If your soul is cluttered with anxiety, resentment, and confusion, no amount of outward success will satisfy you. It is like a garden with neglected soil. No matter how many seeds you sow, nothing grows. So each morning before the sun fully rises, find a moment of stillness. Ask the questions that matter. Lord, what do I need to release today? What do I need to embrace? Write down what surfaces, then pray through it. If unforgiveness arises, address it immediately. If doubt creeps in, replace it with scripture or a declaration of faith. This practice is not optional, it is essential. Without it, your new life becomes a facade, collapsing under the first storm. But with daily devotion, you build on rock, unshaken by adversity. Finally, expect resistance, and overcome it with spiritual boldness. Whenever you walk toward your calling, the enemy seeks to derail you. Fear will try to convince you that you are not enough. Confusion will whisper that you are lost. Delay will tempt you to wait for perfection. But remember, you were not given a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. You are not a wanderer. You are a warrior. When fear snarls at you, face it with the roar of faith. I am more than a conqueror. When confusion clouds your path, shine the light of truth. God's word is my lamp. When delays loom, anchor in patience. His timing is perfect. Picture David standing before Goliath, sling in hand. Did he cower at the sight of the giant? He unwaveringly trusted that the one who promised victory would deliver. Likewise, you can stand, undaunted, because your battle belongs to the Lord. So now, having released the past, embraced your identity, spoken your future, shaped your environment, acted in faith, committed to inner work, and prepared for resistance, you stand at the threshold of the life God intended. Will you burn the final bridge of doubt and step into the destiny waiting for you? Will you declare with conviction, I am not who I was, I am who I am becoming? It is not a distant dream. It is here, right now. Take the next step, imperfectly, but with unwavering faith, and watch as heaven moves on your behalf.